So me and my friend got invited to the swingers party. Actually, he was supposed to get promoted. I went along for the ride because I was supposed to be his pretend wife. And I'm going to be telling this story while I'm doing my feet exercises. So this is part 2 to the story. If you haven't seen part 1, go watch it before you watch this one. Let's get to it. So we arrived at the big black building. They had a big tall bodyguard. And he had a fishbowl in his hands. And he had asked my friend to put the keys in the fishbowl, and my friend did, and I looked at my friend, and my friend looked at me, and we just smile and touch our hearts. We're like, oh my god, they care about us. They don't want us to drink water and drive. Oh my god, they care about us. I had never felt that, like that love. You know, like, oh my god, they care about me. And my friend's like, I'm telling you, Daisy, this is a good company. They care about the employees. And I was like, they do? They certainly do, sir. Anyway, so we went inside. And when we went inside, it looked like flashing lights. Like, pop, 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 pop. Like, it was kind of like blinding for a second. You know, I was like, oh my god, like the lights. And then out of nowhere, you see like these giant curtains. They're like see-through curtains, or like bed sheets. They're like see-through, and they're just moving with the air. There was no air, but they were moving. That's what made it scary. And they were like moving, and then out of nowhere, you see a woman just like gliding to me. It looks scary. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna bite my neck, and I'm gonna turn into a Twilight. No. So anyway, so she was gliding. She was like, dance with us. And I looked at her. Tell me why this lady had her girls out. She had a skirt, but her girls were out. And behind her there was other women, and they were the same way. And they were just like dancing with each other, and like they were like kissy kissy. And they were looking at me, and they were like with their fingers, they were like, come and dance with us. And I looked at my friend, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go. And he was like, no. I know it's weird. So, you know what? Now that I think about it deep down, I think that he knew what was gonna happen. So, anyways, so they were like, come and dance with us. Like whispering, right? And I was like, And then out of nowhere, like, I was like taking like 2 steps back. I was like slowly making my way to the exit, but just like backwards, like, And I looked at my friend and I was like, I don't know, I don't feel safe. And then like out of nowhere, this big tall guy comes out of nowhere. It was like some other guy. He was the one that hosted the party. So he was the boss of the bosses. So he came out, he was like, we're gonna call my friend Pool Boy, because he was a pool boy. So he was like, hey, Pool Boy. And my friend was like, hey. He's like, the guy was like, oh, I'm so happy you made it. And who is this beautiful Latina? Habla español? And I looked at him like, hi. Yes, I do. I speak English. And he was like, and my friend looked at me like saying like, you gotta go along with that. If he thinks you don't know how to speak Spanish or English, you gotta learn that. You know that look, right? And then I was like, yeah, I do. And he was like, so how do you guys met? I heard you've been married for 5 years. And I was like, yeah, we've been married for 5 years. He's like, how do you met? I was like, well, we met picking apples. I messed up the whole story because I'm supposed to say we met at the grocery store reaching out for the same chocolate milk. But I said apples. I don't know why. But anyways, so he was like, and I keep on looking back at the ladies, because the ladies was like, dance with us. And I keep on looking at the boss and looking at the ladies, like, how do you not think this is weird? And he's like, oh, don't mind them. Like, don't mind them. He's like, let's go eat some food really quick. We got an open buffet, Chinese food. You like Chinese food? And I was like, I love Chinese food. He's like, all right, let's get out of here. And then the guy was like, these ladies are creepy. Let's get out of here. Like, he made it seem like whatever, you know? So we went to go eat, and they had open buffet, and I was like very excited. I was like, oh my god, like Like, that was scary, but now I feel better. Now we're not gonna head out that door when we saw the ladies. We're gonna head out this other door. I was telling my friend. So I was already kind of like planning my way to get out of there. But anyway, so we were eating, and then the boss is like, I hope you enjoy your food. After this, we're gonna have dessert, right? And I was like, oh my god, like, I told my friend, I'm kind of stuffed. I don't think I got room for dessert. And then the boss looked at me, he's like, oh, you're gonna have plenty of room for dessert, young lady. And I was like, oh, shoot. Okay. And then my friend's like, just go along with it. Come on, we're almost done. And I was like, okay. So we went upstairs. And this upstairs was very like, if one bro move, I can fall backwards. So we went upstairs, and it was like this upper, like, kind of like an attic type of thing. And they had like an open bar. And I told my friend, I was like, I'm very nervous. And my friend's like, here, drink one of these. And I drank it, right? And then it didn't really hit me. And then he was like, drink this other one. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think